Welcome to my channel. If there's one thing I hate more than anything else, it's people in a position of power who claim to have authority and claim to know the truth and lie through their teeth. Before we get into this, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming to my channel, for watching my videos, for liking them, for sharing them, for commenting on them. And I especially want to thank each of you that has subscribed to my channel. I deeply appreciate all of the attention that my channel's getting and all the people that have subscribed to my channel. Now let's talk about this article. You see the title, I opposed Humphrey in '68. All I did was help prolong the Vietnam War. This is a Michael Kazin, K-A-Z-I-N. He is a history professor. History professor. Keep that in mind. At Georgetown University in our nation's capital, a history professor, okay? And he's writing this article to try and convince people that no matter how much they dislike Biden, they need to vote for Biden to keep Trump out of office. And he goes through a lengthy dissertation on what he thinks about what happened in 1968, how Nixon was elected because they were opposed to Humphrey and on what they claimed was justifiable grounds, but in the end they ended up allowing Richard Nixon to be elected. And he says we cannot make this same mistake because if we elect Trump, of course, the world is going to collapse in front of us. But I'm reading through this article, which of course irritates me from the time I begin the first paragraph of it because I can't stand this crap. And I get to this, the highlighted portion. The soldiers of the National Liberation Front, known to Americans as the Viet Cong, and the North Vietnamese Army did, on occasion, target non-combatants they accused of collaborating with their foes. But neither engaged in operations as despicable as the rape, kidnapping, and mass murder of civilians carried out by Hamas that precipitated the current war. For a history professor to write this has to be a deliberate lie because he has to know the truth. And there's no way that he could write this paragraph, this sentence, without knowing that what he was writing was absolute falsehood. And yet here it is, staring us in the face on the New Republic. It'll get plenty of exposure. And the most frustrating thing of all is the New Republic won't let you know what his email address is, and neither will Georgetown University. So you can't even write to this jerk and point out his lie. He gets to spout his crap, and people will read it and go over it and not even think about it and think, well, yeah, that's probably true. Because he's a history professor, he ought to know, right? It's a dadgum lie. You want to know why it's a lie? I've already done a video on this. 5,000 North Vietnamese non-combatants were murdered in the Hue Massacre in 1968. 5,000. They would tie a group of 10 people together with telephone cord, with their hands behind their back. They would stand them in front of a trench, and then they would shoot the one on the end of the line in the head. And when his body fell, the others would, of course, go down with him. And then they buried the other 9 alive. They killed people by smashing their heads in with rifle butts. They buried people alive with rags in their mouths to stop them from screaming. They machine gunned people. They killed people with hand grenades. They killed 5,000 people. You probably never heard of the Hue Massacre unless you've watched my video, because all you ever hear about Vietnam when it comes to massacres is the My Lai Massacre. which was 1/10 the size of the massacre in Hue. And that wasn't the only massacre that the communists committed in Vietnam. Go on Wikipedia and type in Dakson, Dak San. It was a small village in Vietnam. The North Vietnamese troops came into that village and killed, with flamethrowers, 250 men, women, children, and babies. 250. And there were many more massacres that they committed that have never been discussed because, when we talk about Vietnam, we have to talk about how bad America was, but we can't talk about how bad the communists were. And the difference between atrocities committed by Americans and atrocities committed by the communists is that the Americans don't plan them. They're done through a lack of self-control, poor leadership, and hatred and things like that. But they're done on the spur of the moment. They're done in a passion. When the troops went into Hue, they went in with orders, written orders from the high command in North Vietnam that they were to kill certain people. They had lists with names on them that they were to kill. And these weren't soldiers, folks. They were non-combatants. They were civilians. They murdered 5,000 people. This history professor is a liar, and he's teaching history today at Georgetown University. This is what you're dealing with. This is what you got at your universities. You've got absolute bald-faced liars standing up in front of classes and teaching them, quote, quote, history that is not history, that can be proven to be lies. I'll put a lot of links in the description of this video, and you can look them all up if you want. You can take the time to study this carefully if you want. But I'm telling you, I have studied the Hue Massacre carefully, and I'm telling you the truth. They were given written orders to kill people. And the ways that they killed them, I have already described to you, were despicable, were disgusting, were evil, were war crimes. And no one in North Vietnam has ever paid for those crimes. They're not even discussed in America. All we talk about is the My Lai massacre. This professor should be removed from office, removed from his position with Georgetown, and he should be never allowed to teach again. And yet he'll be teaching history for decades. Because that's what the left wants. They want professors who will teach children lies so that when they graduate, they will think they know the truth and they will not know it at all. Absolutely infuriating, absolutely disgusting, absolutely frustrating to a Vietnam-era vet who knows the truth. As for you, my followers and my viewers, I pray that you will be abundant, that you'll live a long life, and that you'll be healthy. I pray that God will keep you safe from harm. And I pray that you will be anxious for nothing, but in all things, through prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, you will let your requests be made known to God. And the peace that passes all understanding will keep your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. This is the Vietnam era vet out.